Ciao a tutti! Hello everyone! Welcome to Fly High, where you're gonna be flying high in language learning with me, Francesca. I'm so very excited to start this new beginner series with you guys, which are called All in One, as in each episode we're gonna be seeing listening, vocabulary, grammar, reading, speaking, and writing, all related to one topic and all within one episode. So I'm hoping you guys are just as pumped as I am. The topic of today's lesson is self-introductions. Let's explore it together. So let me explain what we will be doing in this lesson. First, I'll be reading out a text, short text. You won't be seeing it on the screen just yet. You'll be just focusing on the listening. Then we see the text together, we read it together, it will pop up on the screen, and we'll be breaking it all down, sentence by sentence, and we'll be revising the grammar and vocabulary covered in there. After that, the text will disappear again from the screen, and you'll be focusing on listening for a second time, and be reading it maybe a little bit faster, and you guys will understand everything. And finally, we'll be doing a speaking and writing exercise where you'll be practicing what you will have learned in the lesson. So I'm hoping you like this format, and I will start straight away then with reading this short text. Yeah, just try and see what you pick up. So let's begin then. Ciao a tutti, mi chiamo Beatrice, ma tutti mi chiamano Bea. Sono italiana di Roma, ma al momento vivo a New York, negli Stati Uniti. Ho 30 anni e il mio compleanno è il 15 maggio. Sono sposata e ho 2 figli, un maschio e una femmina. Lavoro come bibliotecaria e le mie giornate sono sempre molto occupate. Ho un'ottima padronanza dell'inglese e francese e conosco un po' di spagnolo. So this was the text. So now it's coming on to the screen. So here we see it together, and we'll be rereading it. And then we'll be breaking down sentence by sentence all of it. So, ciao a tutti, mi chiamo Beatrice, ma tutti mi chiamano Bea. Sono italiana di Roma, ma al momento vivo a New York, negli Stati Uniti. Ho 30 anni e il mio compleanno è il 15 maggio. Sono sposata e ho 2 figli, un maschio e una femmina. Lavoro come bibliotecaria e le mie giornate sono sempre molto occupate. Ho un'ottima padronanza dell'inglese e francese e conosco un po' di spagnolo. So, analizziamo adesso. Let's analyze this text now. So, ciao a tutti is hello everyone. Mi chiamo Beatrice, ma tutti mi chiamano Bea. My name is Beatrice, but everyone calls me Bea. So you can say this when you say like your nickname. So, ma tutti mi chiamano Bea. So, ma tutti mi chiamano John, ma tutti mi chiamano Fra. In my case, Francesca, I get a nickname Fra. Okay, so you say what your nickname is when you say, but everyone calls me, ma tutti mi chiamano. Sono italiana di Roma, ma al momento vivo a New York, negli Stati Uniti. I'm Italian from Rome, but at the moment I live in New York, in the US. Okay? Now, I'll give you a little bit extra vocabulary here, and we see some grammar. So I could have said vengo dall'Italia instead of saying sono italiana. Vengo dall'Italia, I come from Italy. I come from Italy. Vengo is the first person singular of from venire to come. So I come from Italy. You could have said as well, vengo da Milano. I come from Milan. So you can say vengo da, and then you say the city where you're from, okay? Vengo da Londra. I come from London. Vengo da New York. I come from New York, okay? Vengo da Parigi. I come from Paris, okay? You put your city there. Vivo, abito a Londra. I live in London. You could say, so vivo, abito, vivo, or abito, so I live. And then you say a, the preposition a, and then you put the city where you live. Ok? Vivo, abito a Toronto. Ok? Vivo, abito a Madrid. Attualmente vivo all'estero. I'm currently living abroad. So attualmente doesn't mean actually, it means currently. Ok? So currently. Attualmente vivo, I live all'estero. All'estero is the expression to say abroad. All'estero. You can also say non vivo più in Italia. I don't live in Italy anymore. And this you could say like non vivo più in Francia. I don't live in France anymore. If you're living abroad, you can also describe, you can also say that I don't live in this, like in this even city or in this country anymore. Non vivo più, più is anymore. La mia città natale è Roma. My hometown is Rome. Here it can be, you see, la mia città natale stays the same, è, is, and then you put your town of origin, your native, your hometown there. And then, mi sono trasferita a Milano 2 anni fa. This is a little bit more difficult. So, I moved to Milan 2 years ago. So, if you moved somewhere, and then when, so you go, mi sono trasferita, you also say, if you're a male, you say, mi sono trasferito, because it has to be agreed in gender. So, mi sono trasferito, if you're a male, mi sono trasferita, if you're a female speaker, a Milano, so a, and then you put the city where you moved to, so it could be Londra, it could be Moscow, or Tokyo, anything, okay, the city there, and then you put when, so it can be 3 years ago, 3 anni fa, the fa means ago, okay, and then you put the period of time, so you put, could be 3 mesi fa, 3 months ago, 3 settimane fa, 3 weeks ago, 5 years ago, 5 anni fa, and so on. Now, let's move on with the text. Ho 30 anni, Beatrice was saying, ho 30 anni e il mio compleanno è il 15 maggio. I'm 30 years old and my birthday is the 15th of May. So this is the standard structure to say where, when your birthday is. So, il mio compleanno è, my birthday is, and then you go, il is the article that you put before the number, il 3 aprile, il 7 novembre, ok? And you put the date, the 7 November, the 3rd of April. Sono sposata e ho 2 figli, un maschio e una femmina. I'm married and I have 2 children, a boy and a girl. Sono sposata, I'm married, e ho 2 figli. And you say, to say a boy and a girl, we usually say un maschio e una femmina. So maschio e femmina literally translated as male and female. Okay? You can say as well un bambino e una bambina. You can say that. But we say equally, we say just as much un maschio e una femmina, which literally translates as male and female, a male and female. Also, instead of, if you are not married, if you are in another situation, basically, like you can say differently, obviously, so you don't have to say sono sposata. When you be doing your own exercise, you can go, I'm not married, non sono sposata, or if you're a guy, non sono sposato. You can say I'm single, sono single. You can say I'm engaged. sono fidanzata, or for a guy, sono fidanzato. You can say I'm in a relationship, sono in una relazione, sono in una relazione. You can say it's complicated, è complicato, è complicato. And then, I don't have children, non ho figli, ok? So these are all like explaining, there's so many more, but you know, just a few here for a beginner's level. I think it's good enough vocabulary really. And then we got that she speaks about her job. So she goes, lavoro come bibliotecaria e le mie giornate sono sempre molto occupate. I work as a librarian and my days are always very busy. Now, to speak about what job you do, I could have obviously said lavoro come and then put another profession there. So lavoro come insegnante, I work as a teacher. Lavoro come consulente, I work as a consultant. So the structure is lavoro come, I work as, and then you put the job title. When in English you see that you have the a. So you have the I work as a teacher, I work as a consultant. In Italian we just put lavoro come and we put the job title. We don't say the article, so we don't say lavoro come un insegnante. No. We say lavoro come insegnante. So lavoro come and job title. In English instead it's work as, article and job title. Not like that in Italian. You can also say that you work in the field of something. So I work in the field of marketing, I work in the tourism field, I work in the medical field. So lavoro nel campo del marketing, lavoro nel campo del turismo. So it literally translates as I work in the field of, and then you put the field where you work in. And also, simply, you could just put I am, in English, I am, an, so I am plus article plus your job title. In Italian, we go sono, I am, and then you go the job title straight away. So you don't have the article in between the verb to be and your job title. So you go sono medico, I'm a doctor, sono architetto, I am an architect, sono insegnante, and so on. And then she speaks about languages she speaks. So, ho un'ottima padronanza dell'inglese e francese e conosco un po' di spagnolo. I am proficient in English and French and I know a little Spanish. So also, other ways to speak about what languages you speak. You can say studio l'italiano, I'm learning Italian. Studio il francese, studio lo spagnolo, ok? So on. Parlo bene l'italiano, I speak good Italian. Parlo bene l'italiano. Parlo 3 lingue, I speak 3 languages. And here you could say parlo 2 lingue, parlo 4 lingue, 5 lingue, ok? How many languages you speak? You can say as well that you're a native speaker of a language. So you can go sono madrelingua italiana. I am a native Italian speaker. Madrelingua literally means mother tongue. So I am an Italian mother tongue speaker. So sono madrelingua italiana. And also you can say you're bilingual. If you're bilingual in a couple of languages, you go I am bilingual in Italian and English. Sono bilingue in italiano e inglese. So these are all expressions that, again, be very useful to use in your conversation when you speak about languages. So now I'm going to be rereading the text. So you will, you're going to be seeing me on full screen, and you just focus again on listening to it in its entirety, and hopefully you guys will be able to understand everything. Ciao a tutti, mi chiamo Beatrice, ma tutti mi chiamano Bea. Sono italiana di Roma, ma al momento vivo a New York, negli Stati Uniti. Ho 30 anni e il mio compleanno è il 15 maggio. Sono sposata e ho 2 figli, un maschio e una femmina. Lavoro come bibliotecaria e le mie giornate sono sempre molto occupate. Ho un'ottima padronanza dell'inglese e francese e conosco un po' di spagnolo. So how did you guys find it? So hopefully you were able to pick up everything or almost everything that I read. I'm really hoping so. And right now we'll be doing the last part of our exercise for today. We'll be concentrating on speaking and writing. So you see here, tocca a te adesso. It's your turn now. Tocca a te adesso. Basically, what I would like you to do, so you're just gonna get a piece of paper or do it like on the screen, typing it out. So you'll be doing a writing exercise where you'll be typing out these sentences and you'll be completing it with the little inputs that you see in brackets. So with your, according to your own personal situation, okay? And then you'll be exercising it, you'll be reading it aloud, and you'll be trying to memorize it and speaking all of these. I think this is going to be very useful for like gaining that confidence in speaking and being able to like actually go and say a whole paragraph out loud like that with confidence. So let's see together. So you go, ciao tutti. Mi chiamo, then you put your name there. So, ciao tutti, mi chiamo Francesca. Okay, mi chiamo and you put your name. Then you go, ma tutti mi chiamano Fra. Okay, and you put your nickname there. Sono italiana. You can say sono francese, sono inglese, sono americana. Okay, so you put your nationality there. Di, from, and you put your city. So, di San Francisco, okay? And you put your city there. Al momento, at the moment, attualmente, currently, vivo a Vancouver, okay? So I live in, and you put your current city. And then you go, then you put your age, so I am, then you put how many years you have in Italian, you remember that you use to have to express your age. E il mio compleanno è il, and my birthday is on the, and you go. Sono sposata, sono single, sono in una relazione, so you put your civil status there, you explain a little bit, and then you put what your job is, so lavoro nel campo del marketing, dell'educazione, lavoro nel campo del turismo, ok, lavoro come, you put your job title, or sono, so you choose what structure to use. And then you speak about your languages. So parlo and the languages you speak or that you're studying. So yeah, just like you got like a lot of expressions that we use. You can refer back to them, and hopefully you find that it's useful to put it all into practice, writing it down. So to remember how you spell words and structures in Italian, and then it's gonna be nice to just practice it in front of a mirror or practice it with someone you know, and you'll be able to say all of this in one go. So yeah, so it should be really nice confidence booster. And I'm also gonna be putting, you got a PDF of this, you got the main text that we saw together and this exercise in the description box, so you can check it out, you can download it, you can print it out, and yeah, so you got it right there, so it's easier as well to do the exercise. And yes, so I'm really hoping you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, please let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And also let me know how this exercise goes. And if you want to put it out there in the comments, yeah, so you can do as well. And yeah, if you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. Thanks again so much for watching. Stay tuned and see you in the next episode. Ciao, ciao!